Most fitness advice is either just complete garbage or massively underrated. So I decided to take the most 20 controversial topics in fitness, and in 60 seconds less for each, I'm gonna break down which ones are either overhyped or massively beneficial to your goals. If you don't know me by now, my name's Adrian Stover. I started a coaching company back in 2022 called Ascend Coaching, where we focus on helping individuals one-on-one in their fitness achieve body transformations. And all the lessons I know are either from the 10 years in kinesiology that I've studied or from the thousands and thousands of clients that we've helped. All right, so let's get into the video. Ego lifting, super overrated. Okay, ego lifting is just gonna lead to injury in the gym. I know you wanna hit a new PR, you wanna get in there, and maybe you even wanna show off to your buddies or the cute gym girl that you wanna hit up. But getting in the gym and just trying to lift a crazy amount of weight just to show off to other people, like, dude, who cares? Leave your ego at the door and focus on getting controlled reps in the gym, okay? Hitting one crazy massive rep just to look cool isn't really gonna do you much. What's gonna allow you to build muscle over time is the consistency being in there and focus on getting a little bit better each time. So leave the ego at the door. Getting a pump. It's a little bit of both, all right? We wanna be able to go into the gym, be able to feel good contraction with our muscles and see that blood flow moving into the muscles. That is known as the pump. By the time you walk into the gym versus when you walk out, you look like a completely different human being. And so that's awesome. You wanna be able to have a good pump in the gym. Where this can get overhyped is just going to the gym to get a pump. If you're just trying to go to the gym to look good for the next 30 minutes and you're not really pushing yourself each workout, then it's massively overhyped. You want to be going into the gym to break down tissue, okay? And you do that by, yes, getting a pump, but pushing past the period just when you get that pump, okay? Your muscles are gonna grow when you challenge them. So when you're working out and it starts to get tough, that is the time to push through. So getting a pump is massively good for you, but it can be overhyped if you're just going to the gym to get a pump. Okay, let's talk about the bro split. The bro split is basically training a muscle group each day. Okay, so like day one, I hit chest. The next day I'm gonna hit back. The next day I'm gonna hit shoulders. The next day I'm gonna hit arms. And typically you don't really hit legs or you barely hit your legs. The bro split can be fun because you're getting that pump in the upper body and you can look good, but it is massively overhyped. You wanna have a training program that focuses on building up your weak points. It makes no sense to be training if you're not building up the areas that you need to be to actually get the look that you desire. So the bro split is easy in the sense of planning a workout that doesn't really require much effort. However, it's important to be focusing more hyperly on those areas. Training to failure. Now, most of us know that we should be training to failure, but I do feel like this is slept on because most people just don't know how to do so. So if you don't know, when you go into the gym, you should be pushing the weight until you achieve mechanical failure. Okay, that is basically when your form breaks down. So if you're doing a bench press and the weight's starting to get heavy, but on that last rep, your elbows flare out, well, that's time to stop the set and you've achieved mechanical failure, meaning that you can no longer do the movement with proper form anymore. The reason I feel like this is slept on is because it's very tough to be able to do so. I've been training for 10 years and it took me probably 3 or 4 years of just getting into the gym to be able to have the mindset and the mentality to push past when the weight felt heavy. So how you train a mechanical failure properly is pushing past the spot where the weight starts feeling really heavy, where you're fatiguing out, continuing to push past that, but with good form. Mind muscle connection, massively slept on. Whenever you're doing a movement that targets a specific area like a bicep curl, you want to be making sure that you feel that bicep in full contraction throughout that whole movement. That is known as mind muscle connection. If you're new into the gym, then it's probably really hard to get this down. It does come after consistency and training. You don't want to be going to the gym and just throwing weights around. Every set and rep you should do should be slow and controlled, and you should be focusing on feeling that muscle throughout the entire movement. Locking out your knees when you're training your legs. Overhyped for sure. Please, for the love of God, do not do this. When you lock out your knee, it's going to restrict blood flow to the rest of your leg. Okay, so we see this a lot when you're doing a leg press. If you're doing a leg press and locking out your knee at the top portion of the movement, well, one, you're at risk for reduced blood flow, and then two, if you have a lot of weight on there, you can actually buckle your knee in hyperextension, meaning that your knee, instead of going this way, buckles that way, and you can get seriously injured. Diet sodas, massively slept on. Diet sodas are a 0-calorie drink that is sweet and has thermogenic properties to help you lose weight. Okay, so if you're in a caloric deficit and your calories are lower and you're watching what you eat so you can keep losing body fat, diet sodas should be your best friend. A lot of people are fearful of this because they feel like there's too much aspartame in it and it can cause health problems. I promise you there's plenty of studies on this. If you are afraid of getting aspartame poisoning in diet soda, I promise you, you will die from water poisoning way before that's a problem. At the end of the day, most of your fluids should always be coming from water. So make sure that you're getting most of your fluids from water. But 1 or 2 diet sodas a day whenever you're in a fat loss phase or in a caloric deficit can be your best friend. So Use them and enjoy them. Dirty bulk. Way overhyped. Most people say they want a dirty bulk because they don't know how to be in a caloric surplus in a clean way. They always say, I'm eating so much food and I'm still not gaining weight. The amount of times that people have told me this, like the answer is always going to be the same. If you feel like you're eating a lot of food and you're still not gaining weight, eat more food. It's that simple, right? I promise you, if you just eat more food, you'll gain weight. And you can do that by following a clean bulk, which means that you're focused on building muscle or building up your weight while following a clean diet. Obviously, that's going to be the best way to get the look that you desire. Okay, dirty bulks are going to put on way too much fat. It's going to make you feel like crap, and at the end of the day, it's just not going to be worth it. Now, if you want to know how to do this properly, there's a free guide in the link in the bio called Our Guide to Metabolic Priming. It is our whole process on how we see all these crazy results. You can download it for free, there's no strings attached, and you'll get it emailed to you. Refeeds, massively slept on. So a refeed is basically when you have a day in the week where you eat way more carbs than you normally would. You can do this in a fat loss phase, or you can do this whenever you're trying to build muscle. The point of them is basically allowing your body to consistently burn through higher and lower amounts of carbs, thus helping you increase your metabolism or maintain a high metabolism over time. You can do these in a couple ways. If you're on a meal plan, you can just eat more of the same carbs that you're having, or you can go out and get a cheat meal. But that cheat meal, of course, should be like a clean cheat meal. Now, when you're doing a refeed, you want to make sure that you take down the macronutrient of protein and the macronutrient of fat, and you just increase the macronutrient of carbs. Reason being is because you're trying to increase carbs, not just trying to increase total calories. Natural test boosters, totally overhyped and honestly kind of stupid. Natural test boosters are not really going to do anything for you. It's a marketing gimmick and they're a buttload of crap, to be honest. If you want to increase your test and the way you want to do that is by taking something, the only way you're really going to do that is by going on TRT. Now, I don't recommend using PEDs. However, that is really going to be the only way to actually see a significant result. Don't waste your money on natural test boosters. They're a load of crap, way overhyped. Loading creatine. Funny enough, actually overhyped. If you want to see a video I made all about creatine, then make sure you click the subscribe button. That video will be coming out here soon. But essentially, you do not need to load creatine. 5 grams a day is all you need. It's this white powder, which I don't even know if I should say that on here, but that's really all you need. So you don't need to load it. Just start with 5 grams a day. After about 2 to 3 weeks, your muscles will saturate with it and you'll start to see the effects of it. Keto and carnivore diets, wildly overhyped. Oh my God, I cannot tell you how overhyped these things are. Most people follow keto and carnivore because they hear, oh, it makes me feel so good. I have so much energy. I'm losing weight. Let me explain this to you, okay? Keto and carnivore are diets that basically eliminate carbohydrates from your diet. Carbs store water. For every 1 gram of carbs, you're gonna store 4 grams of water. So when you lose weight on a keto or carnivore diet, most of that weight that you're gonna lose is water weight. Now, you can still lose fat, but most of it's gonna be water, all right? So as soon as you finish that diet and you go back into eating carbs again, what do you think is gonna happen? You're gonna gain a shit ton of weight back. So you don't need to be following a keto or carnivore diet. It's one of those things that's gonna yield short-term success, and then you're just gonna gain the weight back. So your best bet is to actually follow a diet that utilizes carbohydrates and teaches your body to metabolize through them. That's what's gonna give you long-lasting results, and that's exactly what we do with metabolic priming. So again, go get that guide. It's gonna explain it all. Clean and whole foods, wildly slept on. A lot of people nowadays wanna get the easy way out, right? So get foods that you can put in the freezer, microwavable chicken, microwavable rice, like all these things that can make dieting easier. And while that stuff isn't essentially terrible for you, the way that you're gonna get the best look possible is yes, like going the extra mile and like prepping and cooking your food. And that's gonna be foods that is comprised of whole foods. So if you're going for an extreme look, if you really care about the effort that you're putting into fitness, following a clean whole food diet is the way to go. There's plenty of meal prep companies out there that you can utilize if you got a crazy busy schedule, but always clean whole food diet. Building muscle and losing fat at the same time. Wildly slept on, actually. A lot of people want to be able to do this, but they don't know how, and a lot of people don't talk about how to do it, funny enough. It's actually not that hard. If you want to be able to build muscle and lose fat at the same time, you need to be able to have the right approach. And the way you can do that is by being in a very slight caloric surplus. So for reference, if you want to be able to build on a bunch of muscle in a really fast way, you probably want to be in about a 500 calorie surplus. If you want to lose a lot of body fat in a very fast way, you probably want to be at minimum at a 500 calorie deficit. Now, if you want to have the best of both worlds where you can build muscle, stay lean, and even probably lose a little bit of body fat, you need to be following a whole food diet, without a doubt. you too want to be in a caloric surplus by about 1 to 200 calories. The way you can figure this out is you track your food for a few weeks, see what your body weight does. Whenever you find out that you're like maintaining that weight, just increase those calories slightly, and you'll start to notice that like you'll actually start building some size, getting a little bit stronger, but you'll start looking leaner. This is called main gaining, and when you do it, you want to keep your weight gain at least like 0.5 pounds or less average per week. If you made it in this video so far, then go ahead and comment down below your most overhyped or slept on topic, and I'll go ahead and make a part 2 here soon. So make sure that you subscribe as well for that video. Peptides. I cannot speak from experience because I do not personally take any peptides. I also don't recommend that anyone be taking peptides either. It's your choice if you choose to do so. Just make sure that you consult with your doctor first. Again, I am not a doctor. All right, now peptides are this new thing that's been coming out where they can help promote healing, they can help promote recovery, they can help with metabolism. Now again, you are going to be injecting something into your body. And they do say on the label that they're not for human consumption, but there are plenty of studies that have shown that some peptides actually do really help with metabolism, with recovery, with fat loss, and can actually be a really good thing. So in my opinion, I believe that they're slept on. However, I don't recommend it for anybody to take. And then again, you hear me, I don't take them. Natural status. I personally believe this is overhyped. Okay, my opinion is that if you are on a fitness journey, just be focused on your results. Who cares if anybody else is natural or not? And I get the whole thing, all this guy's claiming to be natural and he's promoting that and he's making money off of telling people he's natural when he's on drugs. Yeah, well that objectively is wrong. I don't believe in that either. But for the most part, just be focused on you. And that's all that really matters at the end of the day. And for reference, we train some of the best natural athletes in the world. Your favorite Gymshark influencer probably works with us. And it's kind of funny. When I post content of these transformations or when they post content, so many people are like, you're not natural, you're taking PEDs, this is not humanly possible. And like, reality is, it is possible. So if you're one of those guys, one of those women that gets so bought into the natural, non-natural phenomenon, dude, let it go. It doesn't matter. You can achieve a great result naturally. Here is a few of them. And all those results are achieved naturally through hard work, dedication, and following the right program. So you can do it too. You just gotta believe in yourself. Cold therapy and saunas, in my opinion, overhyped. Now, don't get me wrong, these things do have benefits to them. But a lot of people believe that doing cold therapy and saunas is gonna help you actually lose body fat. It's not really the case. It can help with your cognitive function, it can help with your mindset, it can help with your discipline. All those things are great. Like saunas can even help you lose water weight, but they're not gonna directly help you lose body fat. So you don't need to be doing a cold therapy or a sauna in order to lose body fat. If you like doing them, do them. They're great for you, but they're not gonna help you lose fat. So in my opinion, a bit overhyped. Filming at the gym. I believe that this is actually slept on. I was able to build a huge business and help a lot of people just from starting with my iPhone and taking pictures of my journey and sharing that and telling people what I was going through. And so if you're watching this video and you have a passion to inspire some other people, then film yourself at the gym. Who cares what you're doing with your camera, especially nowadays? Okay, if you have that concern and you're a bit insecure because you don't know what people are going to think about you if you're filming yourself, or you want to talk at the gym and somebody walks past you while you're on the treadmill and you're saying something because you want to put it out there on social media, but then they walk by and you get a little nervous and you put it down and you stop speaking. Who cares? You know, share your own journey, share what you're passionate about. I promise you, you have no idea where that could possibly lead you. Now, we've helped well over 1,000 people. We've had hundreds come through the program that wanted to see a good transformation for themselves, and they documented that process because they weren't afraid to film themselves at the gym. And turns out now they're doing this for a career for themselves. So they've been able to leave their jobs, be able to help more people, coach more people, and that's really cool, right? All because they got rid of the fear of filming themselves. Being a fitness influencer. All right, here's where it can get overhyped. I actually started out in fitness influencing back in 2019. So this is like before TikTok was even a thing. And back then, IG was very different. You would like post pictures and engage with other influencers, and you would build this community, and like that's how you built traction and built followers. It was way harder to grow back then than it is now on social media. And I did that for a few years and I got into coaching, but you know, I probably had 30, 40 brand deals and I've had about 10 sponsors to date. I'll be honest with you, in today's age, it's very hard to become a successful influencer. Doesn't mean it's not possible, but the top 1% of influencers are the people that usually make most of the cash in the industry. And so if you want to do this as like a full-time job, my best advice for you is you got to go all in on it. Okay, if you want to do it as like a side hustle, you'll probably find out that there's not really much of a career in that. unless you go all in. So can be a great career. A lot of our clients are influencers and they love it. They're able to travel. Like I mentioned, we coach some of the top Gymshark athletes and they love it, but they've been doing it for year after year and had a lot of consistency. So if that's your dream, do it. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't do it, because you without a doubt can. It's just very hard. So know that when you go into it. Proper gym wear and wearing socks to the gym. All right, I know I mentioned nobody cares about what you wear to the gym and nobody's opinion should matter, but my opinion is wear some closed-toe shoes to the gym. Okay, some people walk into the gym with flip-flops or Crocs. Like if that's you and you like wearing that, cool. I just think that you should cover up the dogs in the gym. All right, so if you go to the gym, just make sure you got some shoes on. So that is some of the top 20 most controversial topics in the current fitness space to date. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed it, then make sure that you give me a like and subscribe for some more high-level content, and stay tuned for some more videos coming out on the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.